In today's video, earlier this year I was looking something like this. Well, I wanted to lose some body fat. Now I'm hanging out around here, and I want to explain to you guys how we go from one to the other, how we make adjustments, when we should make those adjustments to ensure that we're successful not only losing the body fat, but keeping it off. Today I'm going to explain the 3 things we have to do to keep fat loss moving and to keep the fat off once we lose it. And today's question comes from right here, guys. Go to my Instagram direct message, send me your questions. I'm happy to answer them. And if you like this type of content from a coach that not only lives it, but loves to help you guys, hit the subscribe button. So here's today's question. I started the process at 238 pounds and out of shape. After using the calculator on Pro Physique, it was determined I needed to be about 2,300 calories, 225 protein, 195 carb, and 70 fat. Currently, I'm down to 220 pounds and 18% body fat. Is there a point when I need to reevaluate these numbers for continual fat loss, or do I stick with these numbers until I reach 12% body fat? All right, guys, so when it comes to weight loss, I want to talk to you about the things that are going to allow us to keep moving. Now, I know a lot of people like to talk about lifting weights, but I got bad news for you. Come over here with me and lift some weights, guys, all right? So, we're all going to go to the gym. We're all going to get in some good workouts, right? Guess what? This doesn't burn any calories. In fact, low intensity steady state cardio is going to burn more calories in the same amount of time than it does when you lift weights. Now, the benefit to lifting weights is you get to look like this even when you're 47 years old. You get to have a little lean body mass. But let's talk about the real reason your fat loss is going to stall. It's not going to be because you don't work out. All right, guys, so I want to talk about the thing that's actually most important for fat loss, more important than exercise like working out, more important than your cardio, and that is your non-exercise activity. If you look at the amount of calories we burn throughout the day, the largest portion of that pie is going to be through non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Now, these are the activities that we do throughout the day. They're kind of moving our hands like this. So I know a lot of you guys like to think, well, I play basketball a couple days a week, but I can't lose weight. I got bad news for you. You're not losing a lot of weight just through playing basketball. Even if you're a great athlete, the focus needs to be on what you're looking like throughout the day along with your diet. So let's talk about that. See, for most of us, the problem becomes that we are going to sit at a desk all day. We're going to do a lot of work that doesn't require a lot of activity. And non-exercise activity is actually kind of involuntary movement. But for most of us, we're going to have to manufacture that movement throughout the day to keep fat loss moving. The other factor in that is even if you do the same amount of movement, but you've lost 20, 30, 40 pounds, you're burning less calories because, well, your body doesn't have to work as hard due to it being less body fat and more efficient. So if you're not inherently moving throughout the day or busy and you want to keep fat loss moving and you've kind of stalled, what I like to do is manufacture more movement. So my favorite thing to do at home is my walking treadmill. So the real value of a walking treadmill is this. I can set this to a casual walk, just like you would walk outside. Or I can set this to a much more intense walk where I'm putting an incline and I'm putting a speed that's going to require a lot more work. So for someone that's losing weight over a set amount of time, you could actually keep losing weight on the same amount of time of cardio while simply gradually increasing the intensity of it. This is how we track our data over a fat loss phase. The option is to increase caloric expenditure through movement or decrease caloric intake through our diet. All right, guys, bonus tip. I've learned from knees over toes guy that I can simply turn my treadmill off, walk backwards, really strengthening some of the muscles of the knees, and man, has it really translated into a big vertical jump for me. No, I'm not gonna get it today. I don't feel good. So when you begin to understand how the body works in regards to how many calories you're burning, how many calories you're taking in, and how it adjusts as you lose weight and as you lose body fat, you begin to understand why some people think they're not losing weight despite being in a caloric deficit. You're not in a caloric deficit. Your body has adapted either through adaptive thermogenesis, either through just getting more conditioned, or because you are now sufficiently eating enough calories to maintain the current body fat level that you're at for your weight, your body fat level, your exercise activity levels. So it's up to you to increase your activity. Now, NEAT is something we're not typically going to be able to increase. So as long as you're losing weight, my friend, you want to keep things the same. As long as you're losing weight week over week, the things I look for with my clientele, looking at measurements, looking at pictures, I'm also looking for things like how clothing are fitting, but ultimately we want to see the scale and everything kind of going in the right direction over time. There will be weeks when the scale is not necessarily moving, doesn't mean you're not getting leaner. So how do we know when to adjust? Basically, when you have probably 7 to 10, maybe 14 days consecutively where you're not seeing any changes. You'll feel like you're at a plateau. You'll stop seeing changes in the mirror. You'll stop noticing the clothing fitting differently. You'll stop noticing that your body looks different, and likely the scale is going to reflect that. Now, it may be up and down some days, but I don't overly focus on the scale on a single day. I like to track the weight every single day and look at the trends over time. You'll see ups and downs, but over a long period of time, there should be a graph right here that shows you what actual weight loss likes. A little spikes, little valleys, but the trend, the averages are moving down in the right direction. So what do we do when we hit that sticking point? How do we adjust? Well, now you know what to do. You can look at your calories that you're taking, you can look at your daily activity, and you can go, wow, there's an opportunity here for me to get up a half hour earlier, do a little cardio. There's an opportunity here for me to get up, take the dog for another walk. There's an opportunity for me to hone my skills as a near-damn professional basketball player and go shoot some baskets. It doesn't have to be the evil word of cardio. It can just be focused around your daily activity in the form of your steps. I always recommend, guys, that we're in the gym and we're doing some resistance training. If your goal is not to be huge, good news. You won't get huge. It's very hard to get a lot of muscle. However, just training your muscles through the full range of motion once, twice a week, you're going to get the benefits of having a nice looking muscular physique when you lose the body fat. Guys, don't lose body fat. That is going to have a negative impact on your basal metabolic rate, right? You don't want to get to the end of this fat loss phase and have no muscle. A lot of people reach out to me and they say, hey, coach, I've lost all this weight, but I don't like the way I look. Take your time. Losing weight, about 1% of your body weight per week. As you get leaner, that may be slower. As you're obese, it might be a little higher than that. But this is really how it's done, guys. It's not going to happen all at once. You've had a lot of success with this approach, my friend. Keep it going. But when you hit that sticking point, look at the overall big picture, look at where your calories are. Guys, use my free calculator. And if you haven't seen my video, go right here and just see how much body fat I lost by walking for 60 minutes every day for 30 days. And that will show you the power of increasing your activity. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.